Hello, this is David Troyer. Today, we are going to answer some questions about epigenetics. What is epigenetics? How can epigenetics influence our health? How do epigenetics affect humans? How do epigenetics work? How does epigenetics affect gene expression? What can affect epigenetics? What is an example of epigenetics? In simplified terms, epigenetics is the study of biological mechanisms that will switch genes on and off without changes in the underlying DNA sequence. Epigenetics is everywhere. What you eat, where you live, who you interact with, when you sleep, how you exercise, even aging. All of these can eventually cause chemical modifications around the genes that will turn those genes on or off over time. Additionally, in certain diseases, such as cancer or Alzheimer's, various genes will be switched into the opposite state, away from the normal healthy state. Epigenetics makes us unique. Even though we are all human, why do some of us have blonde hair or darker skin? Why do some of us hate the taste of mushrooms or spinach? Why are some of us more sociable than others? The different combination of genes that are turned on or off is what makes each one of us unique. Furthermore, there have been indications that some epigenetic changes can be inherited. Epigenetics is reversible. With 20,000 plus genes, what will be the result of the different combinations of genes being turned on or off? The possible permutations are enormous. But if we could map every single cause and effect of the different combinations, and if we could reverse the gene state to keep the good while eliminating the bad, then we could theoretically cure cancer, slow aging, stop obesity, and so much more. Nutrition and the epigenome. The nutrients we get from food eventually become molecules the body can use. One pathway is responsible for making methyl groups, which are important epigenetic tags that silence genes. Studies have shown that your mother's diet during pregnancy and your diet as an infant can affect your epigenome and stay with you into adulthood. Studies were done with agouti yellow mice, which have an extra piece of DNA in the agouti gene, making them obese and yellow. When they were fed vitamin B12, folic acid, choline, and betaine before, during, and after pregnancy, the mice gave birth to thin, brown pups. The control animals' offspring were fat and yellow. The nutrients had silenced the agouti gene, but not altered its sequence. Molecules containing carbon and hydrogen had been attached to the gene. Cells often use this process, called DNA methylation, to switch genes on or off during development. Chemicals that enter our bodies can also affect the epigenome. BPA is a compound used to make plastic. It is in many products, like water bottles. Reports that questioned the safety of BPA came out in 2008, prompting some manufacturers to stop using the chemical. In lab studies, BPA appears to reduce methylation of the agouti gene. In the mice studied, yellow mothers gave birth to pups with a range of colors from yellow to brown. When mothers were fed BPA, their babies were more likely to be yellow and obese, like this mouse on the left. But when mothers were fed BPA, along with methyl-rich vitamins, the babies were more likely to be brown and healthy, like this mouse on the right. The vitamin nutrient supplement had counteracted the negative BPA exposure. More and more studies are being done on human nutrition and epigenetics. The following video shows more about epigenetics, nutrition, and how one company, Reliv International, has a breakthrough nutritional ingredient identified to work at the epigenetic level to promote optimal cell health.
This is the story of you. Who you are started with DNA inherited from your mom and dad. Your DNA makes up your genome, the genetic blueprint that makes you, you. Turns out, there's a higher level of complexity called the epigenome. Here's how it works. As you go through life making choices, your epigenome adds genetic tags to your DNA. These tags act like a dimmer for lights, controlling which genes are used, when they are used, and how much they are used. Good lifestyle choices turn healthy genes on and unhealthy genes off. While bad choices do just the opposite.
Would you like fries with that?
With misplaced epigenetic tags leading to serious health problems. Think of it this way. Who you are is written in both pen and pencil. Things written in pen you can't change. That's DNA. But things written in pencil, you can. That's epigenetics. So what if there was a simple, proven way to turn good genes on and bad genes off? And improve upon the genetic code your parents left to become your best possible you. And even pass on those healthy epigenetics to your kids. Meet Lunasin, the epigenetic superfood.
Lunasin is the first dietary ingredient identified to affect gene expression through an epigenetic mechanism of action. Now, Lunasin can come in, it can actually bind to the histones. And when it does that, then it allows the cellular machinery to recognize that it needs to turn on that gene. It has been shown to have numerous health benefits, and that includes immune response, even some antioxidant effects, inflammation, and general cellular health. LunaRich maximizes the amount of bioactive Lunasin found in Reliv products. You can't control the DNA you have, but you can control the genes through lifestyle choices.
With Lunasin, you can take your health to a whole new level.
I would love to connect with you. Learn how in the description.